The causes of the World War I were the assassination of Franz Ferdinand along with his wife in Sarajevo in 1914 by a Serbian nationalist. Also, another cause was the Austro-Hungarian Empire declaring war on Serbia in July of 1914, and along with all of these causes, there was a search for zones of influence in economic and political aspects. The characteristics of the World War I were that there was two alliances. One was the Triple Entente, and it was formed by France, United Kingdom, and Russia. Also, there was the Triple Alliance or Central Powers formed by Italy, Germany, and Austria-Hungary. But Italy betrayed them. One of the characteristics in battle was the trench warfare, in which the two sides or enemies built trenches in order to get protection, but the conditions for the soldiers were deadly. Also, there was called as the War of Attrition, in which was consisting of wearing down the enemy with constant attacks. But people in farms, even though they weren't on war, had to help building guns and machines. Many inventions were created in this time, like the machine gun, the poison bombs, the Zeppelin, and the U-boat. But government made propaganda in order for people to get into the army, so it will be more efficiency. Decisions made at the Treaty of Versailles was that Germany had to pay for the damages made at the war, like many things included the poison gas using. But also, they had to reduce its army, eliminate the air force, and cut back its navy. With all of this, they also agreed that Alsace and Lorraine should be returned to France, along with other territories that should be put under a government that was temporary. Also, in the Treaty of Versailles was stated that Germany was cousin and guilty for starting the war. And that led us to the consequence of the Treaty of Versailles, and that was the ending of World War I and the starting of World War II. Also, the League of Nations was created by Woodrow Wilson, and Germany was in poverty and starvation. The characteristics of the Great Depression were that the economy was going down, there was a lot of unemployment, and people were homeless and sleeping on the streets. For this, solving of the problem, the governments made different arrangements to what they were doing. Like in United States, the President Roosevelt made the New Deal, in which he stated that there was no child labor and there was a limit on farm products. Also, France made the French New Deal, but it failed. And then Great Britain made a deflation policy. The causes of the Great Depression were that the Treaty of Versailles left many powers in debt, which led them to poverty. Also, there was a world war ending, and that led to many unemployment. And the overproduction of products made the prices go lower.
A new form of dictatorship was the modern totalitarian state. In a totalitarian state, the government wants to control the political, economic, social, intellectual, and cultural lives of its citizens. These regimes wanted to conquer the minds and hearts of their subjects through mass propaganda techniques and modern communications. The totalitarian states were led by a single leader and a single party. They rejected the ideal of limited government power and the guarantee of individual freedoms. Instead, individual freedom was subordinated to the collective will of the masses as determined by the leader. The masses were expected to be actively involved in achieving the state's goals.
Ioannis was the leader of the totalitarian regime in Greece. He was born in Ithaca on April 12, 1871. After serving in the Greco-Turkish War in 1897, he completed his military training in Germany. Then he became the dictator of Greece from 1937 to 1941. He showed an opposition to the monarchy of King Constantine I, and with the fall of this in 1923, he left Greece, but later he held the ministerial office until under the Republic. And finally, after Italy invaded Greece in 1940, Metaxas brought the united country into the Western Alliance. The ideology behind the regime was the double yoke of parliament and communism, which led to the establishment of a dictatorship. Defined as the national regeneration and unity, this landmarked the country's history by the radical break with the past and a point of no return on totalitarianism.
Okay, so I will describe the ideology of the regime. This regime was led by Georgios Papadopoulos, that he deposed the king, declared the republic, and proclaimed himself the president. He then freed political prisoners, and he killed 30 students. That was an important fact of him. His regime is recognized by torturing political prisoners, forbidding dissent and free speech, attempting to control education, basically. And I want to say this famous quote about him, that he says, "Let history judge my action," and it's a representative quote of him. So for me, Georgios Papadopoulos was a man that believed that he was doing well to his country and then he saved his country, but it was not like he was doing bad things for the country. So the 3 violations of human rights that he made was: we are all born free and equal, no torture, and we are all equal before the law.